welcome to another horror review Sunday. If I release this on Sunday, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna wait a whole fucking week to release this, or am I gonna just release it whenever the hell I want? I don't know. I'm trying to do like a once a week thing. So I just reviewed Halloween Jack, Halloween Legend, Halloween Jack, whatever bullshit dumb film. Now we're gonna talk about Stage Fright. I'm using notes now. I'm not using my phone because my phone's always dead, so therefore I can't go off my notes. This can't die. It can't. It literally cannot. Unless I light it on fire, like Misery. I just saw that for the first time too, but I'm not going to review it. I'll save that for like when I do like a Stephen King marathon of reviews or something. But yeah. Misery, hell of a lot better than what I just watched. Stage Fright. So I reviewed the remake of this movie last year when I was doing 31 Days of Horror, where I did a review every single day in October, like every day. I'm not going to do that this year, obviously. By the time this comes out, you'll probably have known that, because that just made my review suffer. Like, it was like 4 to 5 minutes, and I regret it, because I didn't have time to think, and it was just like, I was going to work, and I was like, fuck, I gotta get this review out, and I just watched it, I liked it, go buy it, and it was like, that review sucked. So yeah, like, Fright Night, I really love that movie, but I gave it like a 4-minute review, just saying I fucking loved it. But now I get to take my time because I'm not doing a review every single day. But that's enough bullshit. You don't want to hear me talk and ramble. Let's talk about Stage Fright, the original one, that I honestly didn't hear about until a few years ago after I saw the remake. So I was like, wait, this is a remake? And that's true for a lot of movies. Like 13 Ghosts was apparently a remake. There's a lot of remakes out there. And this is one of them. So this is about a play that they're doing. I don't know what this play is about, but they're doing this play, and one of the girls, her ankle's hurting because of all the dancing and choreography and whatnot. So her and her friend like urges her to go get her ankle checked out before she proceeds with the lessons and whatnot and the classes. But they decide to go to a mental institution to get that leg checked out. And while they're there, crazy guy named Irving Wallace, or something like that, Irving, sneaks back to the stage place, studio with them, sneaks in the back of the car, and they take him over there. And this guy also just so happens to be a former play theater artist himself. Like, what are they called? Actor? I guess he was a theater actor, a stage actor himself before he went loco. So that's the story, and he's killing them one by one, just like the remake, except this one is like not a musical at all. So let's start with the positives. I like that this is not a fucking musical. That the remake is a full-blown horror musical comedy. Hardly any horror at all. There's some gore, like when the guy gets like that hook in his foot and he like rips his foot off, and this chick gets a bunch of nails in her face, but it's like off camera. It's like when it was like aftermath deaths. But there's some gore in that movie, but this one actually has gore. So that's a positive too. Each kill is creative. That's what a slasher should do. Creative kills. One or two of them stand out. Killer, just some nudity. That doesn't apply here. But I'm just saying like what a slasher should do, and what it should have. And maybe even like an iconic score, but that's lacking here. Nudity is lacking here, but it has gore. It has some creative kills. There's a variety. And there's a decent body count. So it's more than a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. What do they have, like 3 or 4 per movie? So I like that it's not a musical, so awesome. And the play in this movie that they're doing, like, it's about a victim who then like rapes her killer. Like the play within the movie is funny when you hear the premise. It's like, wait, what? That's stupid. There's a scene towards the end that I really liked because it was just kind of creepy. I'm just grasping at good things to say. I liked when he like has like all the bodies sitting around, kind of like a Happy Birthday to Me situation where like all the bodies are like at a couch, a table. He's got like the head on the table. He's kind of like just sitting and relaxing with them like they're his family or something. I thought that was kind of cool, and they even kind of like make it a little bit of a cool visual of like all the feathers flying because he's like an eagle. He's got like an eagle head. That's the killer's costume for some reason, is a killer eagle. So I'm not crazy about that, but it's different, so gotta give it credit for that. The killer kills the girl, but they think it's part of the show. I thought that was kind of cool. It's in the script that he kills a woman, and then like when she's on stage and he's literally killing her in front of everybody. They're like, it's part of the show, but it's not. So I thought that was kind of cool. And just a little thing that I kind of appreciated, because I've never seen it before, is a woman, like, she knows trouble's coming. Like, she senses that there's a killer on the other side of the door. It's creeping her out. She doesn't know if it's a prank or if it's the real deal. So she just starts screaming as loud as she can over and over and over again, because she knows someone's going to hear and start running towards the screams. I thought that was kind of smart. Like, she just keeps screaming and screaming, and it's like the killer just runs away because help's coming. So I was like, that's actually pretty smart. So I appreciated that. I like that this guy, Danny, his girlfriend, like Sybil, that's a weird name, she dies, and he immediately, like, jumps into the hole to go after the killer, and then is immediately taken out. Like, he has revenge on his mind, but he has no success at all. It's just like, all right, I'm coming to get you, motherfucker. And then, like, the guy just comes with a chainsaw and kills him immediately. I thought that was hilarious. And the last thing I thought was pretty funny was the guy Mobley. What's his name? Millie? I think I wrote Willie. That's his name. So Willie, the custodian or whatever, the maintenance guy. I don't know. I don't think they ever established who exactly he is. The guy in charge of something. But he, at the end of the movie, he's like, you know, the gun you had, Alice, you had the safety on. You didn't pull the hammer back. You didn't have a bullet in the chamber. The gun wasn't even loaded. Blah blah blah. He's like going off, like just criticizing the hell out of her. Like, you suck with guns. And then he's like, and if I had the gun in that situation, I would put one right in between his eyes. He would have been dead. He's like bragging for like 2 whole minutes, and it gets annoying because of how much it's like repeating the same shit over and over again. It's like he's taking the same sentence and kind of like restructuring it and like saying the same thing over and over and over again, but kind of not. Just kind of like saying the same thing but reworded. And then the killer pops up, final scare, but he puts one right in between his eyes, just like he said. And then it's funny because he literally says, like, see what I mean? I told you I would put one in between his eyes. So I thought that was hilarious. But then he just says it again, like the whole, this is how you reload it and blah, blah, blah. Like, he starts repeating that. And it's like, dude, quit beating a dead horse. He just says the same thing over and over again. Like, see, I told you. I killed him. Ha, ha, ha. I told you I put one in between his eyes. In between his eyes. I told you, just like I said. It's like, I get it, buddy. Shut up.
I just went to get the gun. I only wanted to show you how to put the bullet in the chamber. See that? I got him right between the eyes. Just like I said. Right between the eyes.
Now, the hottest chick award will go to the main girl, Alice. Even though I think she's kind of a moron, she's still the prettiest. And the clap award for best scene will go to the killer just sitting around with all the dead bodies and all the feathers flying in the air. I like that scene. Now, on to the negatives. So, they go to asylum for pain meds. I thought that was a stretch. And then the guy just escapes because the straps that hold him down were easy to rip. He just goes, I'm loose now. I think the name Irving is a dumb name for your serial killer. You can't make a franchise out of that. Could you imagine if Michael Myers' name was Irving? You know, Halloween, The Curse of Irving Myers. I met this little 6-year-old boy, Irving. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. There's a cat scare in this movie, and there's a cat in this movie, like, a good amount, and it's always meowing. And first up, that's a very ballsy thing to put in your play. Like, they need this cat for their play, and they need it to do something on cue. And it's like, that's A, very difficult, and B, why? Like, it's stupid. But the cat is just always meowing, and it's annoying. Like, this cat is meowing on an unrealistic level. Like, no one's doing anything to it. It's just kind of like meowing for no fucking reason. Like, is it starving? And I thought it was interesting that the killer never kills it. It just lets it get on his lap and he pets it. But there's only one way in and out of this fucking place. Can you believe that? Like, this whole studio, there's one way in and out. The director has this chick, like, lock the door and hide the key so that only she knows where the key's at, and she's the first one dead, so now no one can escape. And there's these cops that are parked outside because earlier this one girl died, and I thought it was funny because that she died first, because technically the whole thing is her fault. She's the one that was like, let's go to the mental hospital, the asylum, to get pain meds and get your foot checked out. Moron. And she's the first one that dies. And she goes outside because she left her car lights on, and it's like, no, you didn't. So, bad writing? Or maybe I didn't see it, but her car lights were not on. So, but yeah, you got these cops that are parked outside because there was a murder earlier, and they're all still doing their practice, even though the killer was never caught. Someone died on their doorstep, basically, and they're still just gonna, the show must go on. We need to keep practicing. No, fuck that. We're all going home. The show is not that important. The killer is still on the loose. That's stupid. But I keep getting sidetracked. But the cops, why are they in this movie? They establish they're there like 6 times. Every once in a while, they cut back to the cops, and it's like Halloween 2018. They're talking about their lunch, like, my wife packed me spinach. She thinks I'm Popeye. Yeah, she must. And I hate my wife. She's always like, governing over my life and controlling my diet. She doesn't like how I eat. I want to eat steak. It's like, I don't give a fuck what your wife thinks about your diet. You have nothing to do with. It's like every time I cut back to them, I was like, is this going to be their death scene? If so, how the hell did the killer get outside? They should all be locked in there. How does the killer know how to get out of there? He shouldn't be familiar with that place. The other people should. But it's just like, here's the cops. In case you forgot they're there, here's the cops again. It's like, I get it. Like, you only need to show them once to establish that they can't hear the distress that's going on inside them banging on the door. Like, let us out. There's a storm and they're playing music in the car. They can't hear it. We get it. But to cut back to it like 5-6 times, I shit you not, is ridiculous. It just pads the runtime, and it does not need to be here. Sorry if this is like one of your nostalgic films and I'm ripping it to shreds, but sorry. And then when he's stabbing that girl in the play, and they think it's like part of the play, but he's actually killing her, every time he brings the knife back up, and even like when he walks away with it, there's no blood on the knife at all. But there's blood all over that chick's chest. So that made no sense. You get gore, but then there's a few kills where it's like the Legend of Halloween Jack, and there's like cutaway. Like the lawyer, producer guy, whatever he is, the producer, he just gets killed off camera. This person gets killed off camera. It's just, why have on-screen kills and then have a whole bunch of like off-screen ones? That makes no sense. Go full on-screen, buddy. You know how to use your budget and know how to utilize it. You know where to spend it. Okay, here's a scene that just baffled me. I was like, really? Wow. Lazy writing. We need this chick to fall off the ladder or to get unconscious so that she can survive long enough to the end to be the final girl. So how do we get her to that point? Well, we'll have them go up a ladder, and out of nowhere, as they're going up the ladder, she's at the bottom, and she just panics and is like, wait for me, and she starts grabbing the chick's like ankle above her like she's abandoning her. It's like, dude, you're literally ass to face right now. She's not that far ahead. So why are you causing this panic? It's your fault. Like, that's the moment where I'm like, this chick's a moron. I am no longer on board. I do not support her. If she dies, oh well. Like, just little stupid shit like that can really make me be like, all right, fuck this character. I'm out. Signing out. She's like, where are you going? It's like, she's right there. You're all going to the same fucking place. Why are you panicking? And then the girl above, like, kicks her and she falls off the ladder and now she's knocked out. I thought she was dead. I was like, oh, wow, that's how you were going to kill that character off? But just a dumb scene. Like, really? That's how we're going to make her unconscious? That was the only thing they could think of in the writing room? Like, how do we get her unconscious? Well, she's stupid. That's how we'll do it. But then after she wakes up, throughout the whole third act, she never looked scared one bit. And it was literally to the point where I was like, did that knock to the head make her forget all the shit that happened? But no. She sees the bodies. She's bumped into the killer again. She never looks scared, and that pisses me off in the horror movie because I want to feel it from the actors. I want to feel like this situation is actually happening. But in this movie, it doesn't feel that way. She's just like, she's got this plain ass look on her face. She might as well have been wearing the Myers mask because that's what she was doing. Like, walking around like she's got amnesia, but she doesn't. It made no sense. So that just irritated me. It's like, dude, show some fucking emotion. But then even when she gets attacked later on, I knew why. Because she's not a good actress. Because when she's being attacked, she's like trying to scream, but it just sounds pathetic. I like that she somehow sees the key on the floor. It's like in between the floorboard and underneath the stage. And she's literally like, I shit you not, like on the other side of the gymnasium. And she just sees that key on the floor from that far away. Wow. Talk about some LASIK eye surgery. Like, that is some amazing vision. She talks about how she's poor and she needs this like role at this, you know, on this play to survive. Like, you know, she says earlier, like, one girl's like, you should just quit or something. And she's like, well, my landlord's really gonna love that idea. And it's like, but then the whole movie, like towards the end, she's like, I left my expensive watch in there. And it's like this gold ass watch that probably cost a couple grand. It's like, no wonder you're poor. You make shitty purchase decisions. Like, you are not good with your money. But yeah, like, even when she successfully escapes, all right? I'm stuttering a lot because I'm tired. I'm very tired. But this is like my last point. 3, actually. 3 more points. 1, Willie doesn't learn his lesson. Willie let them leave earlier, which then is the domino effect that causes the rest of the film to happen. And then at the end, he lets her back in. Willie does not learn his lesson. And then you get like the final eye blink that lets you know that the killer's still alive, even though he has a bullet in his fucking brain. Get the hell out of here. But final point, after successfully surviving the night, literally the next morning, she has to go back to that place that should be like the last place on earth she wants to go back to. But why does she want to go back? Because that watch is so important. Fuck off. Like, really? It's like, and you forgot it twice now in this movie? Seriously, like, you are just irresponsible on an annoying level. So yeah, I just did not like the characters in this movie at all. No, none of the characters stood out. Of course, there's no character development. It's a horror movie. It's a slasher, paint by numbers. But we don't go to these movies. We don't go to these for like character development. So I can't criticize that. Really, it wouldn't be fair. But yeah, these characters I wasn't digging. So I gotta say, when it comes to stage fright, unfortunately for me, this one was wasted time. And so was the remake. I think I might prefer this one a little bit over the remake because it's not a musical. So now let's go into my awards. My Mr. Hat Award for Best Kill will go to the fucking dickhead director who gets his head chopped off and his arm chopped off. That's what you get. And the Mr. Twig Award will go to the producer who gets killed off screen. And did he get stabbed in the face? Like, he must have from the angle, and then he somehow screamed after being stabbed in the face, and we never see really a clear aftermath of how he died. He just gets strung up like it's Pamela Voorhees doing this shit. But those are my thoughts on Stage Fright, 1986, I believe. Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Hit this like button to show your support, and you can become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen, everybody.